My friends, the absolute darkness of the Persian Gulf was torn apart by a sound that the generals in Tehran will never forget. While diplomacy was making desperate phone calls, the flight deck of the colossal aircraft carrier USS Abraham Lincoln became the launch platform for doomsday. There was no warning on television channels. There was only the detonation of the steam catapults launching 22-ton fighter jets from zero inertia to 260 kilometers per hour in just 2 seconds. And the tactical images confirmed it. F-18. Super Hornet fighters took off at maximum speed, armed to the teeth, breaking the sound barrier in the middle of the night. The mission wasn't to patrol, the mission was to annihilate. My friends, pay attention. What happened? In the last 72 hours, it wasn't a retaliatory bombing. It was the systematic and cold application of the purest engineering of military extermination that the United States possesses. 170 confirmed Iranian targets were turned into dust and craters. And today, are we going to turn the tables? Aren't we going to talk first about what the bureaucrats said? Are we going to open the black box and dissect the raw force? The raw power and the monstrous machines that entered Iranian airspace to break the backbone of the entire regime. The gateway to the Iranian hell wasn't kicked open by politicians, it was broken down by F-16 CJ Wild Weasel fighter jets. The job of the Wild Weasels is the most dangerous in the Air Force, and if you follow me here, you already know they are live bait. Weighing almost 19 tons and flying at over 2,000 kilometers per hour, these pilots go in first into hostile territory to draw out the Iranian radars. When the Iranian operator turns on their anti-aircraft defense system, the F-16 sensor tracks the wave emission and fires the AGM-88 HARM missile. Yes, the HARM missile is a relentless anti-radiation missile that rides the enemy radar wave and smashes the antenna with fragmentation explosives. Within minutes, the coast of Iran was completely blinded. The radar screens went dark. And with the door open and the enemies in the dark, the real heavy workhorses came into play. The squadron of F-15E Strike Eagles. Look at what kind of machine operated over Iran. The F-15E is a twin-engine Leviathan. It weighs 36 tons, taking off with a full tank. It tears through the skies at a brutal 2,650 kilometers per hour, which is equivalent to Mach 2.5. But what terrifies the enemy isn't the speed, it's what it carries in its belly. A single Strike Eagle carries 10.5 tons of pure lethal weaponry. They didn't go there to drop small missiles. They unleashed a storm of GBU-31 JDAM bombs. We're talking about 2,000-pound warheads. Almost a ton of hardened steel and explosives guided by satellite with surgical precision and a margin of error of less than 3 meters. And where couldn't the F-15E get close to? Surface ships and submarines at sea fired Tomahawk cruise missiles that traveled more than 1,500 kilometers, hugging the ground to smash their targets. But what did they hit with all that brutal force? This is where the Pentagon changed the rules of the game. Pay attention, they didn't just attack barracks. The target was Iran's economic and military artery. The attack focused on destroying key structures. We're going to use an exact metaphor so you can understand the sinister genius of this package of American attacks. Remember this concept now. The three-legged stool. Yes, my friends. The survival of the Iranian mullah's regime rests on a three-legged stool so it doesn't collapse. The first leg is terrorism in the Strait of Hormuz. And the second leg is the gigantic seaport of Chabahar, the country's only deep-water outlet to the Indian Ocean. You already know that. And the third leg is the complex railway network that connects the capital Tehran, Russia, and China, passing through Turkmenistan and Kazakhstan. In the last 72 hours, American fighter jets came down from the sky and cut off all three legs at the same time. Starting with the second leg, Chabahar. The 900-kilogram bombs completely obliterated the giant control tower of the port. The international media says it was just a civilian navigation tower. That's a lie. Intelligence confirmed that the Islamic Revolutionary Guard was using the sophisticated telemetry from that tower to map and coordinate the area. Kamikaze drone attacks and ballistic missiles against commercial ships in the Strait of Hormuz. Logistics piers. Entire ships were shattered and swallowed by the sea. But the most terrifying message was the attack on the third leg of the stool. The U.S. Central Command physically destroyed the railway bridges that connect northeastern Iran to the supply lines from Asia. The main railway bridge on the route to the holy city of Mashhad disappeared. But why Mashhad? Because it's the direct corridor to Vladimir Putin's Russia and Xi Jinping's China. It is through these railways that the famous Russian gifts come in. That's where smuggled missile parts and military components flow in to fuel Iran's terror machine. The Revolutionary Guard itself was forced to come out publicly, swallowing its pride to admit that two people, vital bridges were destroyed and all passenger and freight rail transport between Tehran and Mashhad was paralyzed. The country's arteries were clogged with twisted concrete. The bridge collapsed. This isn't a tactical attack, my friends. This is strategic strangulation. It's Washington telling the Ayatollahs, we're not just going to break your legs, we're going to destroy the gateway. There's no route left for you to receive weapons from Moscow. We're going to eliminate your ability to connect with Asia. You're isolated. And what was the reaction of the Iranian regime when their infrastructure went up in smoke? Pure victimization theater and desperate rhetoric. After all, propaganda is all they have left. The chief negotiator of the Iranian parliament, Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf, desperately went on the air to say, if you attack, you will be hit. The Strait of Hormuz will only open through Iranian agreements and not with American threats. The Minister of Foreign Affairs begged for international help. They had just held the funeral of their supreme leader and wanted the world to let them set the Persian Gulf on fire in mourning without facing consequences. And in a final act of delirium and arrogance, the regime issued a direct, public, and deadly threat against the ultimate symbol of American power. They threatened to shoot down the jet of the President of the United States. They targeted Donald Trump's Air Force One. When a radical regime threatens to shoot down the plane with the commander-in-chief on board, aviation security switches to a different protocol. Qatar had offered the American government a luxurious, state-of-the-art jet. You already know this. The Secret Service and the Pentagon generals intervened with an iron fist. No, Mr. President. The president is not going to fly in an aircraft with no combat record just for the luxury. The decision was immediate. They put Donald Trump aboard the historic, massive, and iconic Boeing VC-25A to Trump. It's an old tin can. But it's the old tin can that keeps him safe. That unmistakable baby blue plane. But don't be fooled by the classic paint job and the year it was made. This old machine is a flying fortress that has been through every imaginable trial and tribulation. It has armored hulls against electromagnetic pulses, retina-burning thermal flares, suites full of electronic countermeasures, and communications on a secure spectrum. It's the plane the Secret Service knows can take a hit and keep flying. The new presidential planes, which will be the true modern replacements, will only be ready and delivered in 2028. Until then, Trump took off in the most iconic aircraft on the planet. He flew over the crisis in the classic baby blue jet. It was the biggest diplomatic middle finger that Iran could receive, and it proves one thing. The United States doesn't trust Qatar one bit. The country that gave the billion-dollar gift. It's one thing to give a gift to buy trust. Another thing is actually earning that trust. And this decision by the American government, the establishment, and the Secret Service not to use the Qatari gift at the most decisive moment proves that, in the end, you can't trust a radicalized state that supports and harbors the Muslim Brotherhood, and the Muslim Brotherhood, which swears to destroy the United States and annihilate Israel. On the other hand, it was demonstrated that the mature and tested technology of the United States humiliates any radical rhetoric from generals hiding in bunkers. The Ayatollahs ended up in global house arrest, surrounded by fire and with their supply lines cut. And this here is serious, but the global escalation is not limited to the sands of the Middle East. The planet is, and now we move on to the global round with the biggest update on the board in Eastern Europe. Because Ukraine tore up the rule books and launched its most violent and deep offensive against Vladimir Putin's territory. The attack was not limited to the front line. Ukrainian drones penetrated deep into Russian territory and hit the city of Taganrog, setting an uncontrollable fire in the strategic port and striking the main Portuguese military aviation college, crippling the training of new pilots and engineers from Moscow. At the same time, vital Russian refineries began to melt down. The colossal Iskoil refinery was set on fire by Ukrainian unmanned aerial vehicles. And Crimea, annexed by Moscow, was once again subjected to methodical blackout attacks, blinding radar coverage over the peninsula and breaking Russian rear security. But the vital information that the media tried to hide and we bring to you is the massacre of Putin's ghost fleet. In a naval annihilation campaign that lasted only 4 days in the Sea of Azov, Ukrainian intelligence tracked, targeted, and hit no less than 36 tankers of the so-called Russian Ghost Fleet. 36 ships that were carrying the clandestine oil that financed Moscow's war machine. Zelensky went for the regime's jugular. The Sea of Azov was covered in black smoke. It's a multi-billion-dollar blow to the main source of revenue for the Russian Federation. The war now hits the Kremlin's deepest pockets. But all this power projection, whether from the Ukrainians or from the lethal force of the F-18S launched from the deck of the Abraham Lincoln, comes with a real price. Now I want you to pay attention because the cost is blood. And we need to talk about the human factor, about the military tragedy that underpins the massive strength of the United States. Recently, the Navy ended search and rescue operations and officially identified the American servicemen lost last week in the dark waters of the Persian Gulf. The United States lost Commander Gabriel Edwards, commanding officer of the formidable Helicopter Combat Squadron No. 5 HSC-5. Commander Gabriel Edwards was aboard a 60 Sierra utility helicopter as an operator, operating from the aircraft carrier USS George W. Bush, when the aircraft suffered a fatal malfunction and was forced to make a violent emergency landing in the water on July 1st. Of the 4 crew members aboard that 7-ton machine, rescue teams managed to recover 3 sailors alive from the turbulent waters of the Arabian Sea. But Commander Edwards, the squadron leader, was lost at sea. The search lasted for days and was eventually called off, but the pain endured. The commander of Carrier Strike Group 10 came forward with heavy words marked by sorrow. Gabe's legacy as a husband, father, friend, and fearless leader will never be forgotten. Although we are far from home, our heartfelt support remains with the family, he said. Commander Edwards' death is a punch to the gut, to remind us that war is not just a display of technology on infrared screens. The fight for global freedom is paid for with the sacrifice of field generals, American heroes, and fathers who put themselves on the front lines to project strength thousands of miles from home. A full military tribute to a man who died in service. My friends, given the depth and sacrifice we examine every day, I need you to pay attention for just a minute. What's at stake now is not superficial ego, but the consolidation of our analytical stronghold. The global algorithmic system, the legacy media, and the politicians who run the machine will do everything they can to push ordinary people into a pit of futility. They want you consuming mindless dance videos instead of seeing the dark game that's destroying your sovereignty and your financial freedom. But we're building the exact opposite. We have built a private community of elite analysts here, men and women who understand the mechanisms of real power. And because we never bow our heads to the superficial, we have just been officially nominated for the eBest Award. Yes, my friends, in the political influencer category. And so this is the exact moment for us to crush the system with our own numbers. This isn't about winning an award. It's a demonstration of brute strength. It's about proving to the algorithm and to those in power that cold analysis, the defense of freedom, and technical and geopolitical democracy do have an unstoppable and overwhelming army behind them. Well, the link to the official vote is in the video description and pinned in the top comment. You can vote 3 times a day to keep us in the top 10 until the end of this stage, but there's a wonderful detail. You have already put us in first place in the last 72 hours, so now I call on you. You there, following along with me. Stop what you're doing for 30 seconds, click that link now. Cast your vote for the raw truth and let the weight of our community of analysts bring down the mediocrity of the internet. The call has been made. I'll be waiting for you there. My friends, from the sea torn apart by Ukrainian attacks on the 36 ships Putin's ghosts, to the complete severing of Iranian railways with American one-ton bombs, what the Trump administration and the Pentagon did was strip a regime that survives only on logistical terrorism and chaos of its breathing room. The message from the machines that fly at twice the speed of sound and the GBU-31 bombs is unequivocal. Patience has run out. I'm going to ask you who are part of our intellectual military elite to participate in this final push. To show you've read this situation perfectly and show the platform the caliber of our community, go down to the comments now and type the 2 words that define the state of Iran. After losing its 3-legged stool, type the words logistical collapse. That's what's left. It doesn't have a railway to Asia. It doesn't have a safe deep water port. It doesn't have control of the strait. Type in the comments box now, logistical collapse. Leave our signature and strengthen the relevance of in-depth knowledge. The world is in turmoil, but the truth will always be our anchor. The geopolitical beacon remains lit and relentless. And for those of you who aren't satisfied with just the surface and want to operate at an even deeper level, I have a direct message. We've created an exclusive platform. Our intelligence bunker is armored and completely free from censorship. Today, we are more than 3,000 elite analysts backing the truth in there, poring over maps, documents, and strategies about what really happens in the world before it hits the news. The QR code is on the screen now, and the link is in the description and in the first pinned comment. Unlock your access right now and join the ranks of the strong. And before I go, a practical message. Stop wasting 40 minutes scrolling through streaming catalogs on the weekends just to end up hitting play on some disposable junk. Stop wasting your rest time watching woke garbage full of whining. And for that, to solve your problem of wasting time, we created a TV and movie recommendation channel with amazing picks. Just click, choose the title, and enjoy with your family. So the link is in the description, in the pinned comment, and in the card that will appear on the screen. My friends, the most delightful moment of our chat has arrived. Subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and leave a like on the video because it takes a lot of work to put all this together with the energy I know you deserve. Now blend your mind. I'm Shimon Oliveira and I'll see you in the next video. See you then.